Oh boy, do I have a lot to say about Welcome to Dolltown. Strap in, boys. If you've never heard of this game, I would not be surprised, but in the niche of small indie horror games, this was big news. A pretty cool looking lo-fi horror art style with some silly combat and an intriguing premise. Explore a fog-drenched cursed village crawling with possessed mannequins and uncover the tragedy that time refused to forget. Sounds cool. To top it off, the game had quite a successful demo in 2025's Steam Next Fest, so it got on a lot of people's radars. However, being that it's a small solo dev project, there was delay after delay after delay. And it became one of those games that you wonder if it's ever coming out. Until Welcome to Dolltown was given an official release of February 13th, which was then delayed due to Steam just ignoring the dev, so it was actually released February 20th. And I was, say it with me, pumped. Little indie horror games are just about my favorite thing on earth, and sitting down to enjoy one hot off the presses with an ice-cold White Monster Ultra in my hand is my nirvana. And then I didn't like it. At all. Pizza box. Empty. So I've taken down some notes to try and compartmentalize my thoughts on it all to share them with you in a semi-organized fashion. Now, normally, right here, I would put a little chart with things I liked and didn't like, and I would give a grade out of 10. But with peace and love, after staring at it for a few minutes, I couldn't think of anything positive to say. And that sounds so bad, I feel so bad about it. But I'm not gonna make something up to placate my feelings or anyone else's. That said, I'm also not looking to dogpile a single developer, so I will be doing my best to maintain some decorum, lest I get into a fistfight outside of the Applebee's or something. Last couple housekeeping notes before I get started, there will be explicit story spoilers in this video, since a big complaint is regarding the story itself, and I can't complain unless you know about it. If you're wanting to play this game on your own, feel free to go ahead and do that right now and come back. It will only take you 60 minutes, so I'll wait right here. Hey, welcome back! Second thing, this game has serious and explicit themes, including but not limited to harming others and yourself. If you are not in a good headspace currently, this is not the video or the game for you, and I'll see you on the next one. Otherwise, let's get started. We play as this young lady, Yumi, who has just arrived at Dolltown to work in the local convenience store. Now, while I don't understand why she would need to move just to work at a konbini, I guess that's not my business. Other than her sending a text to her mother on her arrival, Yumi seems to have very little of a previous existence, and definitely zero personality. If you are, for some reason, attached to Yumi, that's really too bad. She doesn't die or anything, but she's really more of a bystander than a character. See, the story presentation is all in flashbacks, and in said flashbacks we take control of other characters, including a cat at one point. I did the math, and only about 28 minutes of my playthrough was I in control of Yumi, supposedly my main character. The other 45 minutes of my playthrough was slow walking through flashbacks. Yes, slow walking. Sometimes the characters will move faster, but it's just when they feel like it. There isn't a run button. All in all, the gameplay is, let's call it rudimentary. There is combat. Technically, Yumi can throw a punch. And we'll get into the dev being a total meme lord later, but the combat was advertised as a selling point, because Yumi does these crazy wrestling finishing moves to put down her enemies. A little out of left field, sure, but genuinely the only entertainment you're gonna get, so eat up. Picture my confusion then when there's basically no enemies to fight. I can count the combat encounters in this game on one hand, and still have the other hand free for a little angry rat fist. Nice selling point, man. Cool. There is no exploration to be done, and the most puzzly this game gets is having to pick up a coin and buying a Lego to replace a missing button on this number pad. The combo is just given to us, and yes, it is boobs backwards. Refer back to the meme lord statement. The controls themselves are fine. Technically, they respond okay. Others have reported an issue with sensitivity on the camera, but too bad, because there are essentially no settings. Editing button note, my understanding is that they have since added settings, which, that was fast. Why not do that in the first place? Cheers! I do have one gigantic complaint with the movement specifically. Inside buildings, the camera changes to fixed, which I definitely don't mind. Except when the camera angle changes, the movement input changes with it. Normally when you have a fixed camera angle, your movement input will persist through that camera angle change, so that stuff like this doesn't happen. Also, the perspective, particularly inside the school, is impossible to navigate. I cannot see where the hell I'm going. A last note on the controls, which doesn't ultimately matter, but is strange. The menu controls are inverted. I don't know why. Nothing else is, and it doesn't loop around. The menu only goes one direction. It's just baffling. Now the story. To me, it made basically no sense. It felt dramatic for drama's sake. If you've ever watched a Chinese drama, they do a lot of stuff in those that don't really make sense, but the plot points are added just for the drama itself. That's what this felt like. The story is centered around a character named Mio, who is the daughter of the town's patron of sorts, the doll maker, who specializes in life-sized realistic dolls. Mio is badly bullied at school because of being a lesbian, and as an aside, the dialogue of the bullies is nasty. Genuinely revolting for reasons that elude me, to the point that I don't think YouTube will let me read this off to you. So I'll put some highlights on screen for you. I beg your finest pardon? Moving along, Mio at one point finds her girlfriend badly beaten by these bully girls, and for some reason decides that she's going to kill her. Her girlfriend. Not the bully, her girlfriend. She locks her in a freezer and kills her. Okay. Then, unable to process that she has done that, Mio kills herself, jumping off the school roof. And right in front of her cat. And her potato salad. not the potato salad, but definitely in front of the cat. Her father, also unable to process the situation, digs up parts of her body and performs some odd ritual to imbue her into a doll. Doll version Mio then attacks the head bully and has a moment with either this is a doll version of her girlfriend or like a vision of her girlfriend, maybe? She says some circular logic trying to hand wave the killing her part, and then Yumi wakes up on the bus. It was all a dream. Or was it? Bum bum bum. God. I don't get it. And then trying to process this story with serious themes while the dev is a meme lord is exhausting. Like, the date is 420, the password is boobs, and if I accidentally press the wrong button on my controller, Yumi will suddenly dance the Gangnam Style. Can we make up our mind? What are we doing here? The art is definitely stylized, and I don't mind it. I think the models in a vacuum look nice. I am personally a little uncomfortable with how young they look when we're discussing things of this nature, but okay. Plus, they never change. Like, at one point we see Mio's 10th birthday and it's the same model. They all have doll joints before they're even turned into dolls. It's all a little confusing. The audio is basically non-existent. We have vast swaths of time where there is no sound at all. Sometimes there's music, but most of the time there's not. Here's the audio track of my recording just to illustrate my point. Ultimately, I am dreadfully disappointed, and I swear I'm trying to be nice about it. But honestly, no one should play this. There is really nothing here for anyone. And I don't think that I had unreasonably high hopes. I really feel like I got the old bait and switch. The game is underwhelming in comparison to what was advertised, almost like the game got drastically scaled down. And I am not alone in this feeling. Reviews are rough. Twitter is unkind, but nothing that they are saying is untrue. It is bad. I always have and always will support indie devs. I will continue to buy day one releases, but for your sake, save your money, skip this one. Thank you all for making it to the end of this video. Big shout out to my channel members, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye bye!